When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me, yeah. Don't you see that I need you so much? Don't you see that I love you so much? Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, darling, I need your love. Oh na 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 na, oh na 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 na, darling, I need your love.
can hear it. Here we go. I think my mic was off all the time. Problem that I had on episode 4, I think. But yeah, I think we are on now. We are good to go. Ready. Just monitoring the stream, seeing if everything is squeaky clean and ready to go. Sweet. So yeah, welcome again to episode 7 of the design streaming sessions here at Do Better UX. I'm your host, Farma Henry. And if you haven't been here before, this is just our weekly, what can I say? Not weekly, like every weekday live streaming sessions that we do here on the Do Better UX channel, where we geek out around different design topics, and eventually we would like to get some people on the show and geek out with them around different design products, different things that you find in the market, methodologies and processes and all of the UXy things that affect how we build better products, because here at Better UX we are all about building better products at speed and sort of like taking UX designers to the next level in their careers by sharing all the information that we know and explaining in detail how these things work. So yeah, having said that, you think that is your vibe and you might be interested in joining us for future sessions, do please consider subscribing to our channel and hit that notification bell so that you do get notifications when we are live or upload new content, because sometimes we just upload content as well, maybe from our podcast or other activities that we are doing, such as our online web classes that are private in our Discord. Some of them we might feel like we just want to share them with the world because they're such important topics that we want to put out there. Cool. So having said that, today's topic, we want to be exploring a little bit about, the UX Designer Toolkit and how that looks like in 2020. What is in your toolkit? I'd like to find out that in the comments section if you're watching us live. If you are watching a replay of this, please do let us know in the comments below what is in your toolkit and what are the tools that make your UX delivery the optimal one. Having said that, I think there's two trains of thoughts that we need to look at when we're talking about the UX design toolkit. I think there's one side where we have the problem solving toolkit, the design thinking, sort of like the skills that help you ideate, problem solve, do research, and I would almost call it the softer skills side of things. And then there's the technical side of things of your design toolkit, such as your actual design software, Figma, Sketch, and whatever it is. And this is sort of like the common thing that you find on the internet, right, when you are looking up UX design tools in 2020. Actually, let's jump right into Google here and see if we can look up some UX design tools. So if you look UX design tools, initially the thing that you see is like InVision, Adobe XD, UXPin, Figma, Sketch, which I think Figma should be on the number one. But this prototyping tools, there's just so many things. Again, here's another list: Sketch, InVision, Axure, Craft, Proto.io. Again, these are tools that help you as a UX designer execute the work that you sort of like want to do. But today I also want to explore a little bit of the other tools that you need to design, to problem solve more than just to do the actual execution work, the creative work, right? So these are things you prepare for conversations. I had it a talk today that I was invited at a local South African company. It's a development house. It's a dev house, but like have a detailed sort of like UX design team. And I was sharing my thoughts today around why I think facilitation as a core skill is important for UX designers and even developers to adopt, as this is sort of like the core of problem solving. So things like team characters, this type of canvases help you problem solve what come up with vision statements, problem solve for different scenarios and strategies. So this way you are not just doing the commodity work that we see a lot of UX UI designers doing, right, which is just churning out screens, but we actually see a lot more designers, what can I say, doing the problem solving work, doing the strategy work, which is the reason why you are being hired as a UX designer in most companies. Most companies are actually looking at you doing the strategy work. So let me explore a couple of ones. I think this design better business is a good sort of like extensive repository of different frameworks and tools that you can use. So from preparation all the way to sort of like validating your actual idea, and other sort of like business consulting type of things, like how do you check out the investment readiness level, and other pretty cool things that help you define your actual strategy proposition, and make this more valuable than just creating a product and testing it with users, right? So it gives you a little bit more depth as a UX designer, and what you can offer to your customers, offering them more value and also making more value for yourself, right? So moving on swiftly to the next one. So maybe let me go through this in sort of like maybe some sort of format, right, of what I favor the most to maybe what I favor the least. Maybe not necessarily in that format, because I kind of like all these methodologies the same way. So let's start with design sprint. Now, if you follow me, you know that I'm a design sprint fanboy. I speak about it on the Not a UX Designer podcast all the time, and it was majority of the content that I created initially when I started creating content, on my blog, and etc. So design sprints, if you don't know about them, if you are new to them, a design sprint is a 5-day process, which is usually designed to cut the loop of going through the building and the launching process, so that you can learn as fast as possible. So it takes you from idea to prototype to validation as quick as possible. In fact, in this case, it's within 5 or 3 days. So it comes in different flavors, and you can whether pick your 5-day example or 3-day example. Actually, I got introduced to design sprints when an ex colleague of mine that I was working on gave me this book. Let me see if I can just get it in focus. Sprint. This is the book where this is based on. So that book there. Sprint is a great read. If you don't know what design sprints are and you're a UX designer and you're thinking about taking your career to the next level by providing your customers with something that is an extra edge that a lot of people are not providing, this is definitely something that you want to have a look at. I'm not affiliated with a book or design sprints. I'm just a really big fan of some of the results that I've been seeing coming out of this. So if you have this in your toolkit, it will help definitely help you stand out as a UX designer, because you'll be able to help customers solve and validate ideas in faster time than most teams are able to do. So yeah, that is the design sprint. I think moving on, let me see if I can look at UX design thinking methodologies. Cool. So let's see what we find here. So UX design, I mean, design thinking on its own is a methodology, is a process, right? Which is cool. I think there's a lot of other things that come out of it, right? So if we look at another cool resource for UX designers, if you are not part of InVision already, and you don't know their community, I think you should check out their education here under the books. They've got a good set of books that speak about sort of like design thinking, remote working for design teams. This one is a really good one. If you read the design sprint book, this gives you a little bit of a snapshot of how to execute that on an enterprise level. I think in the book we have a little bit of very startup focused in there. That one will help you sort of like see how it works on an enterprise level. There's other things like design systems, design leadership, and design thinking, and etc. So yeah, that's another quick little resource that I just wanted to share there quickly with you guys. So yeah, let's go back to some of the other things that I wanted to share with you that I think are important for the UX Design Toolkit in 2020. So if you're a UX designer, you definitely want to check out, some of these things that I'm talking about if you don't know about them already. The next thing that I want to talk about, let's close this all these tabs, it's the design dash. Now I'm a little bit new to this one, but I thought it's super cool. I found that I've been following some of the people that practice it and sort of like are making it a trendy thing out there. That is people like guys and people within that community that are sort of like bringing this methodology that brought this methodology to my attention. Now the design dash really helps you have one of those tools that help you get problem solving. What can I say? That helps you brainstorm in a more sort of like structured way. So we usually get into a lot of brainstorming sessions and other sessions where we want to ideate, and we don't really know how to coordinate the whole process, and we don't have a clear scripted what can I say, role or means of ways that we can actually follow and make sure that we keep people's energies high while we are doing our workshop and facilitation. And so the design dash is basically like they say here, a super fast introduction to design thinking methods and mindsets. So it really helps your team get on board quickly with design thinking methods and help you ideate better speed and be able to have more effective brainstorming sessions, if I were to say that. So it's something that is a little bit shorter than the design sprint, but it's definitely a good add to your UX design toolkit as well. So maybe the Design a Better Business these tools, there's some of very common toolkits that are sort of like canvases and things that I hear that I would definitely recommend. But let's just go through some that I think people should really be in looking at doing. And I think there's one more that I don't want to leave out, which is the Lightning decision jam, right? Now, if ever you're in a situation where you want to run a retrospective exercise with your team, or you want to figure out what are the problems that we have within this team, and you want to be able to solve for those, the Lightning decision jam is a very quick process, which takes 30 to 45 minutes or so to be able to come out, identify what problems the team has, identify some solutions, vote on those solutions, and finally prioritize them and actually get out of that session with next actionable steps. So I found the Lightning decision jam to be one of those tools that you can use almost on a regular basis to problem solve for either first client problems. So if you're interacting with the client for the first time and you want to figure out what problems do they actually have and what are you solving for, you can actually go through within the room and let them come up with their own solutions and prioritize their own solutions, and also assign who is going to be looking at those solutions once past the meeting has went by, and people are supposed to be actually taking the next steps onto this. So the Lightning decision jam is a very cool little thing that you can put in your toolkit. And talking about toolkits, since I'm on the Miro website right now, I think I should talk about these two great what do you call them, whiteboard tools. I think that's what you would call them. So if you ever need a facilitation space, you might know about these tools already, you might not. If you do, please bear with me as I share this with the guys that are not familiar with these tools. So Mural and Miro are basically whiteboard tools. So think about it as your virtual whiteboard. If you ever have sticky notes and a whiteboard and have those type of sessions, and you would like to do that virtually, since we are living in the days of COVID anyway, that could probably be a requirement. So if you want to run workshops or sort of like these brainstorming sessions with your team, these are two awesome tools to have. But the one thing that I actually want to highlight about them is that, other than having the functionality for them, to have sticky notes and timers and voting capability, dot voting capability, and and even calls now. I think you can have the actual call in Miro itself. The biggest thing that I think is important here is the resources that they give you guys. They have a plethora of templates and information around how to run different problem solving activities and things like that. So just like the design better business tools with all these cool canvases that allow you to play out some design thinking practices, you also have the same thing for sort of like online collaboration within these two tools. So they're very similar. I think the difference will be between your preference really, but I think you can do almost anything that the other two can do. So you see, you've got things from strategy, planning, remote meetings, brainstorming, insights gathering, workshops, and facilitation. And all of this stuff they've got different examples, and these are well detailed examples. So let's go in UX design and research, and let's look for something that is a little bit more familiar to a lot of people within the UX space. All right, so I can't find. Let's check out the UX lean, lean UX canvas, right? So they give you a well detailed explanation around, what is the canvas. So this way you can actually start learning new different tools that you can use for problem solving and applying in your world as well of whatever context you are. So again, I'm always directing these conversations to UX designers, but I understand that we also have developers and other people who are interested in watching this show around design as well. So let's see if I can use this template without registering and see. Oh, okay, all right. I thought I could just go into it. So again, with Mural, you have the same thing. Your different templates. From reflection, agile processes. You've got like brainstorming stuff. Sort of like different templates for brainstorming. You've got things that help you do user research under learn, right? And how you can gather your research, icebreakers, planning, designing, and all of that stuff, right? It's like really cool stuff. As you can see here, the templates are slightly different, but again, when you go in any of the templates, you sort of like given a well detailed explanation of how the template actually works. And as you go in here as well in the actual template, let's see if Miro is designed differently, and it doesn't want me to necessarily just jump into storyboard. Okay, I still have to enter my work email. I don't want to type anything in those fields because I sort of like have my autofill and it has all my email addresses there, and I don't want to necessarily give away all that incriminating evidence on the internet. If this was an edited show, I would have gladly sort of like went in there and edited that out after that. So yeah, I think this is sort of like the other world. As you can see, I didn't go into Figma or Sketch or any of those tools, or Adobe XD. I think those are great tools. I think we'll have other sessions covering those type of tools. In fact, we had a session earlier on when we started our design streaming sessions talking about a Figma plugin, and I think we'll be talking about all those other great cool things, right? But in the meantime, I think I just wanted to explore the other world of UX UI, which is the UX part of UX UI designers, and what the toolkit might look like, because a lot of people overemphasize the commodity work, the sketch work, the Figma work, but I think that is over commoditized now, and everybody could almost learn how to do that. And I think what companies are looking for right now is sort of like better problem solvers, people who can bring different sets of tools of thinking and problem solving, help them with strategy, help them with things that are just beyond your normal UX design. So if you're getting from the UX design phase, getting into a more product design role, these are some of the things that you might want to learn. Things like in investment readiness level. These really help you take your career to the next level by not only being a UX designer. I understand if you you want to be a UX designer and focus on UI work, and that is what you're really passionate about and what you're into. That is totally great, and I would encourage you to look for the best and greatest information and things that surround you with a wealth of knowledge around that world, right? And I think we will explore a huge part of that world, of the UI world as well, and how we can improve that as UX designers. But in today's session, I wanted to explore sort of like the list spoken about UX design tools. Well, from my perspective at least. Again, This is just me geeking out. These are my own opinions. If you have comments, questions, please feel free to drop those in the comments sections or in the chat section. If this is your first time watching this and you do not come from our community, we do run a UX design community, actually a design thinking or a design thinkers community rather, over on LinkedIn. If you look for Do Better UX, or just look on the little links that are on our YouTube channel, you can see our website that we're super excited to be launching next week. You can join the conversation in our private LinkedIn group, as well as join our learning Discord channel. So if you would like to learn more about UX design and see the web classes that are coming up, we try and have them on Discord because it's a more engaging environment where we can have people interact with where you can interact with people and engage with them in a more sort of like interactive way, and just have the YouTube comments play out. Having said that, I think this brings us to the end of our session today. I'll be really interested to see you there. I almost forgot, you should also check out our podcast, which is ironically called Not a UX Designer. You can check out that on Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcasts. We have similar topics where we talk about building better products, the processes and the methods that people use to sort of build better products. And we also interview some very interesting people on our podcast, so be sure to check that out as well. So marking out for the weekend, I will be sure to see you next week. Again, we'll be live streaming from Monday to Friday every day at 7 p.m. So be sure not to miss us, and have a great one. For all those viewers that are in South Africa, have a lovely long weekend and a great Women's Day to you on Sunday. And I hope that you stay safe during this period of COVID. And have a great one. Till the next one. Ciao.
I can help you out. 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 I can help you out.
I just can't let you go. Lord knows that I've tried to. You said I was the only one. No one likes being lied to. You made this mess and left me with the pieces. Now I wanna burn all the bridges between us. I can't focus. I can't